My name is Chisa and I am the owner of Chisa's Collection, boutique and sewing studio in Houston, Texas. I first like to thank you for this opportunity to apply for this grant. It means so much to myself and others just to know that we are being thought of and that we matter and our voices will be heard in some capacity. So with that being said, what inspired me to start creating was my mother, who was a seamstress all my life. I grew up with nothing but fabric, notions, supplies, and craftware everywhere in the house, and just watching my mother create daily, take pieces of fabric, scraps, whatever she had at the moment, and turn it into beautiful creations just amazed me. So from a little child, I watched and admired and picked up on techniques and watched for the mistakes and everything else. And by the time I was in middle school, I started taking proper lessons from her and creating things on my own. So I definitely had to work on my patience as a child in the process of learning to sew, and I definitely remember that very vividly. So that is something that I can take into account when I am teaching others right now. So when I began to create things for myself and for others, I was amazed and overjoyed by the reactions that I would get from people, and to see people wearing and appreciating the products that I made really encouraged me to continue on. And that has been a big motivator for me in this process of creating. Just the joy that I get from seeing people and their joy, and taking things that seem like they're nothing alone, putting them together and creating beautiful masterpieces. So that definitely has been what inspired me to keep going on my craft journey. The fact that there's the possibilities are limitless, and the fact that when I seem to have less resources, I end up being more creative in the process. So I think that's actually an interesting joy as well. Okay, so the benefit that the Joanne's Grant will give to me is that it will definitely allow me more resources for my sewing studio. We will be able to get busts to actually do draping and have sewing machines, more streamlined sewing machines, meaning matching. As I'm teaching my classes, I won't have to necessarily accommodate for different sewing machines, doing different things as people are learning. I will be able to have the resources readily available for people in-house, as opposed to making them have to go and purchase and possibly getting the wrong things, and just being overwhelmed with the whole process of trying to make sure that they have everything that they need in order to be a success in just this simple thing which should be a joy, which is creating, crafting, sewing. Also, I feel like I will be able to compete with others, so other sewing studios in my area and around the world who may have had access to a substantial amount of capital in the process of opening their business from the very beginning. And some of the obstacles that I have faced as a minority business owner, or just a minority period, would be some of the mental conditioning that we have as young children. I'm sure maybe not everyone, but I know myself and a lot of people that I know. It's just the fact that you think, you look up and you see things that just don't seem attainable. Big businesses functioning, and you think, oh, that's for them, it's not really for me, or we're not taught the opportunities are there for us. So first we have to overcome the mental thing and knowing that we can do it. Yes, those opportunities are available for us. So once we overcome the mental conditioning that we have, thinking that it's not for us, then we have to feel like, okay, well, am I good enough, or am I ready yet? And those are the things that have held me back. Can I compete with the other people? And the answer is definitely yes. So I've told myself the answer is yes. And thank you for helping me to prove that the answer is indeed yes, we can.